capitalism, industrialization and urbanization are all inextricably interlinked. Now you can understand it, that is when a topic is about and a question is about capitalism, industrialization and urbanization being inextricably linked, it's not only associated with settlement geography, it is associated with other things as well, but not settlement geography only. The relationship in this case and the espousing of this relationship is very significant. Of course, this question is about discuss, but it can be analyzed as well. And what exactly is the difference between discuss, analyze, elucidate, elaborate? We do not need to say that, largely because we assume that this is one part you must have gone through some time back as part of your introduction class. The answer has to begin by first defining what is capitalism, signifying what is capitalism. So it's one form of financial governance, you can say. It's going to be one form of running the economy where the finance and the money is the main profit motive which goes on to run the economy, and in which individual excellence, in which the creativity, in which the identity of the people are prime. And when we're going to say that the identity and other things are prime for the people, basically it means that they are the one who are going to be generating enough amount of funds and enough amount of finances to support other people. In this case, it's the individual who is able to generate so much amount of finance, not anyone else. That is the concept of capitalism. Second is the concept of industrialization. Now, industrialization is generally not very well understood among the people. And why we say, the reason that we're going to say it's that most of the time people go on to think that industrialization is associated with the establishment of manufacturing centers. It is not. Industrialization effectively is a process of value addition to any resource, any skill, any concept, any idea. Remember, it's a value addition to any resource, any idea, any skill, and any type of management in such a manner that they go on to gain economies of scale, in such a manner that there is economies of agglomeration, and in such a manner that there is a very good amount of a forward and backward linkage, and forward and backward linkage to an extent that the output from one becomes input to another, and that it can be taken on a very, very, very large scale. Now, that is why it goes on to become important, that is why it is significant. Now, having defined two of them, we come to the third definition of it. In the third concept, there is urbanization. Urbanization refers to a spatial concomitant change brought about by concentration of the people, a change in the lifestyle of the people, a change in the psyche of the people, a change in the economy of the people, a change in the structural transformation of the economy of the region. So urbanization is a process of concentration of people, and all those people that have concentrated their change, and that their change is going to be economic. So they undergo certain type of a change in their structure, in the type of work that they're going to do in the society, the way that they're going to conglomerate, the way that they're going to deal with each other, psychological, that is the behavioral component, the way they're going to think, and any other aspect to make the people cosmopolitan in nature. The end product in this case goes on to be cosmopolitan in nature. Thus, as you can go to say, that is we are going to be talking about that a concentration of people which is going to be associated with urbanization cannot be attained by any dispersed activity. And mind it, our aim is the explanation of that explanation of urbanization, not exactly industrialization, capitalism, because both of them go on to be aiding urbanization. So we're going to say that concentration in people cannot be attained by any dispersed agricultural activity. Rather, it can be achieved by any secondary or tertiary activity. Concentration requires intense economic activities, very high amount of value addition to the activity as well, and which is possible by means of income generation, which is going to be having a very high input of skill, idea, intellect, knowledge, technology, finance, and that is how it is going to be linked by industrialization. The second aspect of urbanization is associated with the transformation of the psyche of the people. The transformation of the psyche of the people so that they become novo rich, and which is again accomplished by a new form of economy. We are going to be talking about novo rich people, that is newly rich people, and that is again going to be attained with a new form of economy. Newly rich people, like as you can go to say, see it now, India has been one of these places where the children, small children have started becoming rich. 25-year-old students and 25-year-old people can go on to be as rich as something like some 3,000 crores of rupees. You must have known some of the stories of ethical hackers who have carved a niche to such an extent that they have gone to become advisor to the United States government also in this case. So this is going to be accomplished by a new form. It's a new form of economy. It's a new form of a lifestyle. That is people like to live in leisure. They don't go on to do any type of work on Saturdays and Sundays. They just like to enjoy their life. Anything that has been given to them, they go on to be part of it. This type of an economy suits an industrial capitalistic economy, because it is only when you are going to be having that much amount of a financial resource at your disposal that you can go on to think of leading such type of life. The third is the change in the structure, form and character of population is accompanied by and supported by an economy where most people are economic men. They are not satisfied. They are all optimizers. They all try to not economize on something. They try to gain money. They try to gain income. And their main aim is profit motive. They all in all, the only thing that they know and the only thing that they want is how to obtain profit and how to gain profit. That is going to be supported by an economy where most people are economic men, and most people have income motive, and most people have an eye on living in a new industrial economy, because they do go on to believe in individual excellence. That is, how is it that they will go on to excel? They will go on to excel only because of one factor, that is, if they are able to carve a niche and identity for themselves, they should be in a position to get a commensurate reward for that also. The whole of this link is going to be strengthened by the will, the ability, the means and mechanism of diffusion of views. That is, it cannot be that I can go on to be a part of a capitalist economy and I can go on to be alone. I cannot be an island. I require for myself a good amount of support from other people. And who can go on to be these other people who are going to be giving me this type of support? So they have to be skilled people. They are the type of people who I require for my services or anything in this case. The link is, therefore, we said that is going to be strengthened by the ability and mechanism of diffusion of views. How is it that we diffuse this view? Whether it is going to be through net, whether it is going to be telephone, and the ability of it. That is, of course, right now, as you can go on to see it, that is, we don't require to move physically in order to go to a bank. Everything can be done with the help of a plastic money. We do not go on to require to move to a place to deposit our work, because everything can be transferred in a zip file on the net. It also goes on to be depending on the evolution of identities and concepts. That is, People are very identity conscious right now. No two people are alike. Of course, they had never been so, but then this identity aspect is coming more and more and more. Every single individual goes on to harp on his identity. That's the evolution of the identities. Every single individual goes on to be having some idea. That is why the concept of these startups have come up. And these startups can go on to aid something and aid an industrial economy only because it is only in this type of economy that we do go on to be having what we call it as a startup or a new startup which will go on to take this idea so forward. So people, programs, culture, everything will go on to get diffused in such type of an environment. It is this connectivity that goes into exist between the people, between their work, between their psyche, between their skill, between the technology, between the way in which these things are going to be diffused, that links all of it. That is, I going to get guided by a profit motive, that is capitalism. I do going to get aided by value addition of my work, that is going to be industrialization. And in that process, I go on to bring about a change in the way that I go on to live, that is urbanization.